Hello, I'm Dionne, welcome to my studio. Now today we are going to be looking at architecture. So we are looking at the artist Antoni Gaudi, and we are thinking about how they really challenged how people could approach buildings and what they could look like. So what he did was he acknowledged his surroundings, he acknowledged all of the rules of architecture and how you're meant to design buildings, what they were meant to look like. He took all of those things, all of those ingredients, but then he completely reinvented them. So he took what was going on within the art world at that time, so how art was changing and evolving, and he took inspiration from that within his architecture. So he went, well, why do things have to look this way? And he took all of his knowledge and he put it into his designs. So here is a really good example of how different it looked within the landscape. So again, like I said, he took and he acknowledged everything that was around him, but then made it his own. So we're going to take that on ourselves. We're also going to take on the beautiful decorative elements of his buildings as well, and we're going to make our very own mini versions. So to begin with, I'd like you to get your clay and I'd like you just to enjoy the feel of it and just to enjoy what it's doing, and then from that I'd like you to create your very own mini building. So I'd like you to play with the shapes that you can make. It might be that you'd like to take direct inspiration, have lots of lovely flowing turrets and things. It might be that you'd like to do something like that. It might be that you've seen a building that you'd like to make a miniature version of. I'm going for a dome, just because I love domes and I love standing in them and the way that they surround you in a really interesting way. So I'm going for a miniature dome. So I'm just trying to create that shape now. So you're going for something that kind of sits in the palm of your hand. So this isn't a huge building, this is a miniature building, but you're the architect, so you're just in the design phase. So I'm going to get you to construct your building. You may need to use water to smooth out any cracks or to add on particular features. So I'm doing this quite quickly so that I can show you. But I'd really like you to think about those things. So it might be that you'd like to build in window frames or grand doors, things like that. So really do think about that as you're making your shape. So once you do have your build-in shape, which my one's been a little bit wobbly, but just to show you, I'd then like you to take your mosaic pieces and start moving them into the surface. So again, we're thinking about these beautiful stones and patterns that are on his pieces, and I'd like you to fill the whole surface. So we're not painting it today, we're just filling it with lots and lots of beautiful patterns. So really think about how you're doing this. So these might like to arc over the doors or the windows, they might like to form the windows. So I'd like you to use as many different pieces as you have, but to fill every single bit of the surface. And as you're pushing it in, it might be that it's moving your sculpture slightly, so don't worry, you can keep working over and into it if that's happening. So you're going to have to really problem solve here, but I would like you to fill every bit of the clay with your lovely pattern pieces.